Good morning. Air mattress held up just fine last night, so I got that patched and fixed up. The temperatures are nice. It's cool. It's not cold, but it's a good temperature of cool. But today we only got like 14 miles. Getting to a road crossing where we can get into town. I'm imagining with so many hikers, there's constantly going to be shuttles and stuff running back and forth. There's a bunch of trail angels in town that have their numbers listed for rides, so I think it's going to be pretty easy to get a ride into town, whether it's a normal hitch or I'll just get in with one of the trail angels going back and forth. But I think for now the plan is to get into town and just do a resupply run as best I can. Hopefully the stores and stuff aren't cleaned out from everybody else who's ahead of me, and then just get back on trail and do a few more miles today. But we'll see how it goes. I got a feeling this could be the last stretch of nice, easy, flat-ish terrain in the state of Washington, because where we're getting off into town, when we come back out in the woods, that's right at the base of Mount Adams and starting a big hill climb up and around that mountain. It'd be similar to what we did on Mount Hood. And then from there you got like the Goat Rocks further north, and then a lot more bigger mountain passes and stuff, so this might be the end of the easier stuff. Water sources are pretty good. Every 2 to 4 miles or so, nice little stream. I've passed by a good number of tents already this morning. I guess this close to town, everybody just wants to sleep in, and they'll roll in whenever they want to get there. There's a lot of reports coming out of a major outbreak of norovirus just a little bit further north of me, closer to Snoqualmie Pass area. It's putting down a lot of hikers. I've never had it myself. There was definitely a few outbreaks of it when I was doing the AT, so it's just something to be aware of and careful of. Here's Steamboat Creek. This is the outflow to Steamboat Lake, which is just up there short ways. There's an old original trail marker. I don't know if I've ever seen one like that before. Here's a crossing for Forest Service Road 88. That's Trout Lake Creek. And from here we only got about 5 miles left till we get to our road exit to get into the town of Trout Lake. Looks like we got uphill for a couple miles and then downhill for a couple miles before we get to the road. That's not too steep though. I feel like this is the first time I've seen the sun today. Forest is thinning out a little bit. Must be getting near the top. Two and a half miles left, all downhill from here. I hope we get some kind of view today, because as we've been getting closer and closer to Mount Adams, it should look extremely majestic, because we are really close to it. Just can't see anything through the trees. There's our exit, Forest Service Road 23. That'll get us into Trout Lake. It's about 15 miles down the road or something like that. I don't see any hikers waiting, so I think that's a good sign that people are getting picked up nice and quick. I'm imagining with all the people flooding out into the towns that the trail angels are just going to be going back and forth continuously, so I don't think this will take more than 15 minutes, but we shall see. So, I'll see you in town. Well, I'm in town, just got dropped off. First stop, we hit up the general store. I got all my resupply stuff taken care of. They got an awesome selection here. Now we're gonna head over to the little cafe just up to the corner, I think. I'm back on trail, successfully in and out of Trout Lake. A lot of hikers. I could have stayed if I wanted to. There was room. There's seemed like a good setup there at the general store. A lot of people were pitching out back, but I'm around a big group that just got dropped off, so I'm gonna try to let people spread out a little bit. I have no idea how many miles I'm doing this afternoon. Maybe only a couple or something, and then just get into a tent site area and then crashing. But in town, I got all the resupply needs done. The grocery store was awesome, top notch. Freeze-dried foods, they had full stock of everything, so they weren't cleaned out at all yet, which was cool. And then went over to the cafe place. I got elk burger, that was really good, and a huckleberry shake, that was excellent. So I found my shake. And at the general store, every 2 hours or so, they're running a shuttle back and forth. And since so many people had signed up to go, they were just calling other local trail angels, and you know, you just do a 4 and 5 car caravan and you get 30 people back in the woods. So everything worked out really smoothly. So we got it locked down pretty good in Trout Lake. Good little stopping area. Looked like a bunch of water sources were prevalent on the way up. And from here we are on the footsteps of Mount Adams. So we are mountain climbing all the way up from this point. So again, I don't know how far we're going, but we'll get back on trail. This bit's real steep. I think it's short-lived though. It's all huckleberries. Huckleberries for days. They were a little late this year because of all the late season snow, but they're just coming out and they're just getting ripe. It's all huckleberries. There's some views of the top of Mount Adams. Yeah, we're definitely on it. It's definitely one of those mountains too that forms its own weather system. This is where all the clouds are, just right around the top of the mountain. But we only got like a mile left to camp or so. Here's camp for the night. Nice little secluded spot. You follow this little side trail, a 0.1 or so. The actual trail's curved back around that way. On the other side of the rocks there somewhere. So it's kind of off and tucked away by itself. Mosquitoes are out, but they're not too much of a bother, but they're kind of flying around my face. So I'm gonna get settled in and dinner going here in a bit. I'm all settled in for the night. Got the rain fly on just in case we get light sprinkles from all the cloud cover and stuff that's drifting around the mountain. Would not be surprised if a couple more people show up to this area, but for now I'm all alone. And I got one of the backpacker pantry freeze-dried meals for dinner for tonight. So I think that's pretty much it. We got 2 days worth of good pushes, like 23, 24 miles. And then that third day will be like a 12-mile day or so, which will get us into White Pass, which is the next destination. And I've got reservations to the west, about 20 miles down the road, is the town of Packwood. So I got reservations at the Packwood Inn already. So we're all set there. And that's kind of what the next stretch looks like. So I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all in the morning. Good morning. I was all alone last night, tucked away in that little secluded spot, except for the local deer visitors. And clouds cleared up and the stars were out. It's just really cold this morning. So I'm all bundled up. It's probably in the, I don't know if it's in the 30s. It's definitely like 40 degrees. Maybe it's in the upper 30s. It might be that cold. But I got my alpaca gloves on that I got at PCT days. I don't think I showed those off yet. Those are doing all right so far, I guess. But I think it's a good thing that it's cold, because looking ahead in about 7.5 miles or so, there's a precarious stream crossing, and it's coming off of the glaciers and stuff up on the mountain, so colder and earlier in the morning, the water levels will be lower, and it'll be easier to get across that, so we'll see that in a few hours this morning. I think we did most of the uphill up Mount Adams yesterday. There's just a little bit further climb, and then we start skirting around the mountain. There's Mount St. Helens out to the west. Not getting any closer to it. Getting further and further now. There's Mount St. Helens. And there's Mount Rainier. A lot of burn patches up here. A lot of cool rocky scenery. Every time I see Rainier, I'm gonna have to stop and take a look at it. Here's Riley Creek. And now patches of lava fields. This has been kind of a cool stretch around the mountain here. Different areas of little small meadows and fields and stuff and flowers. And now lava rocks. There's looking up at Mount Adams. There's a lot of snow up there. Big glaciers. Here's the Lewis River. The next one is Adams Creek, and that should be the sketchy one that might be kind of deep. Creek. This is the fun one to cross. It can be sketchy. Best to do it in the morning. A log to go across. Made it across safely. Nothing was worse than in the Sierras. Mount Rainier in the background there. I feel like this is one of those days where I'm going to have too much footage. It's just awesome. Here's Killen Creek. And from here, we are leaving Mount Adams behind us. Got a long descent down the north side of the mountain. Easy, cruisy descent. Here's the South Fork of Muddy Creek. Doesn't look so bad, not muddy. This is Lava Spring, a natural spring coming right out of the lava rocks. I'm gonna take a break here, I think. It's about 11:45, and we got about 15 miles done for the day already. It's been an awesome hiking day today. The terrain's been super smooth. Temperature is nice and mild. It's been great. I may do a couple extra miles today, so tomorrow's, less than a 24 or whatever. I'll kind of see how I'm feeling. At some point, in a little bit, at the end of the day, I think we gained some more elevation, getting closer to the Goat Rocks area. But I think Goat Rocks itself will be tomorrow. That's supposed to be a really cool, awesome section we'll get to see. Here's a neat part of the forest with a creepy vibe. I was doing some looking ahead to see where I might end up for tonight. And I think I am going to do a few extra miles. There's a Tentsite near a small water source, about 6 miles further from my current position. And I think I've already done 20 miles for the day, so I think today's going to be a marathon day. There's lots and lots of these little ponds out here scattered about, and lots of mosquitoes. But they're not too aggressive. As long as you keep moving, they stay off of you. Kind of feels like it's been a long hiking day, even though I'm going to be getting to camp about the same time as usual. But right now we got like a 2-mile uphill, and then about a mile of downhill, and we should be at camp. We're into the final descent. We are almost at camp. Here's camp. There's some spots for others to join in. 4 or 5 more or so. Mosquitoes are out, so I kind of got set up and tuck in real quick here, but the trail's just up that way. There's a little stream just over that way. So I'm in a pretty good spot, so time to take care of the usual. I'm all settled in, hiding from the mosquitoes for the rest of the evening. I've got my backpacker's pantry, black beans and rice. I don't think I've had this one yet. The Santa Fe rice with chicken that I had wasn't that great, so we'll see what this one does. But we had a good push today. I think we did a 26.1, so just under a marathon, but that's all right. And then tomorrow is going to be awesome. We got the Goat Rocks coming up. I've heard about that. Should be spectacular views, cool area, but we'll check it out tomorrow when we get there. So thanks for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.